Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Well, it looks like Fani Willis has a stay of execution, if you will. Judge McAfee says she lied, but she can stay on the case. Amazing, right? I know there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be probably in these comments and the comments of other people who did videos on this whole investigation and you know, was staunch, strong Fani supporters. And no matter what, she could do no wrong. And now she's still on the case. They're probably going to do a whole nanny boo boo type thing. But let's just dive into Judge McAfee's decision a little bit deeper before you guys try to wave the victory flag. So this is from the dailymail.co.uk, and it reads, in an odor of menacing hangs over Fani Willis disqualification case. Judge Scott McAfee's most slashing findings in a decision that allows embattled DA to continue to prosecute Trump. Now, Judge Scott, I believe his ruling was 23 or 26 pages long. I know the majority of us are not going to read the whole thing, so I'm just going to bring to you guys this article, and we're going to break down what the article says, and so we can try to see just how, you know, if Fani Willis actually won yet or not. So let's get into it. It says, Judge Scott McAfee in his bombshell ruling Friday writes that neither Fani Willis nor defense lawyers were able to establish conclusively when her affair with special prosecution Nathan Wade began, but still says an odor of mendacity remains. And that's just a fancy legal word of saying an odor of lying, non-truth telling, if you will, remains. He calls out the Fulton County DA for legally improper statements, blasts Wade for lying in his divorce case, and rips the credibility of a witness who couldn't recall key elements of his own text messages. It's interesting how the judge says that what Fani did was legally improper, which to me, you know, hinges on the, on the edge of lying, but yet come straight out and said that Wade was lying. A lot of people came into my other videos and in the comments and said that I was wrong when I said that Fani was, what did I say, Judge McAfee's boss. And what I told him is that basically what I was saying was she may not be his boss. Okay, I see that. But she controls what goes in and out of that court, his court. She can control what kind of cases he do. She can dictate his career, basically. Just on, she can say if a case can be tried, if a case cannot be tried. So basically, like I say, his career hangs in the balance of anything that Fani Willis decides. So technically she may not be his boss, but she controls his life. So call it what you wanna. It is, it is what it is. So you're gonna notice that in his in his in his statement, that he really doesn't hit Fani Willis really hard. He leaves open a lot of interpretation and leaves open the possibility of other prosecutions or other inquiries from other like government agencies. He leaves that open just enough to say, hey, I did what I could. Now, but if anybody else want to do something, hey, that's on them. That's not on me. But let's keep going. He addressed a key dispute from his evidence hearing last month about when the steamy affair began, which brought conflicting testimony between Willis and Wade on one side and a former college friend and the text of Wade's former lawyer on another. the court is not under an obligation to ferret out every instance of potential dishonesty from each witness or defendant ever presented in open court, McAfee writes. To ferret out pretty much just means to look under every rock, every leaf, under every grain of sand to prove or disprove what was said. He said such an expectation would mean an end to the efficient disposition of criminal and civil proceedings. He's basically saying that if they had to do that, it would take too much time, and they ain't got time now because they're trying to prosecute Trump right now. So they don't have time to go through all them details. But with these Senate councils, these federal councils that are looking to go after Fani Willis, they just may have all the time in the world to dig deep, all the resources to dig deep to find the evidence that was missing in the hearings. So yet reasonable questions about whether the district attorney and her hand-selected lead prosecutor testified untruthfully about the timing of the relationship further underpin the finding of an appearance of impropriety and the need to make proportional efforts to cure it. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this whole thing was based on the court's rules or policies that there cannot be an appearance of impropriety while you are in office. And if it is, it could be grounds for dismissal or disbarment or what have you. So basically, he said he saw that and they were not trying to do anything to fix it. That they knew that the relationship that they had wasn't right, was unethical, shouldn't have happened. But that if and when it happened, they should have did something to basically bring it out to the open or tell the courts, let the courts know what's going on. So that way the courts can make a decision if they want Fani to prosecute the case or if they want Nathan Wade, to be a part of the prosecution too. That's basically what he's saying. To McAfee, such appearance issues are no minor matter. Citing case law on the matter, McAfee noted that even the appearance of impropriety threatens confidence in the legal system itself. And as a lawyer, as a judge, you cannot really be seen as a liar because it's going to affect maybe your future cases and it may affect some of your past cases too. He ruled that the appearance exists even if the relationship began after Willis had hired Wade, as each of them claimed, noting that Willis kept him on the payroll while they were dating. Even if the romantic relationship began after SADA Wade's initial contract in November 2021, the district attorney chose to continue supervising and paying Wade while maintaining such a relationship, end quote. He also calls her out for her financial practices, which, as she testified, include relying on large sums of cash, almost no receipts, and ad hoc transfers with her romantic partner. Quote, she further allowed the regular and loose exchange of money between them without an exact or verifiable measure of reconciliation. This lack of a confirmed financial split creates the possibility and appearance that the district attorney benefited, albeit not materially, from a contract whose award lay solely within her purview and policing, he writes. And if I'm not mistaken, what he's saying here is they couldn't prove that she benefited financially by having Wade on the case. But yet, it's just something fishy about it because she was the one who was cashing the checks. But they couldn't confirm it. But it looks like there was something there. It's just that it was there, it was out there, they couldn't confirm it. Which again, these other counsels that are looking to bring Fani to the forefront and have her testify with a subpoena, they may be able to get to the bottom of it. He also calls out Wade for being untruthful in his divorce case that surfaced after the affair allegations that upended the case. He pointed to Wade's patently unpersuasive explanation for the inaccurate interrogatories he submitted in his pending divorce indicates a willingness on his part to wrongly conceal his relationship with the district attorney. So interrogatories are just questions that were given, and then he answered, but his answers were like so vague, and they was repetitive, and they really didn't give any details, which basically makes you believe that he was trying to hide his relationship with Fani Willis. As the case continued, reasonable members of the public could easily be left to wonder whether the financial exchanges have continued, resulting in some form of benefit to a district attorney, or even whether the romantic relationship had resumed, McAfee wrote. He ruled that neither side was able to establish when the relationship evolved into a romantic one. In addition to admonishing Wade, he said he found testimony of Wade's former lawyer, Terrence Bradley, not credible. Now, go back to the reasonable members of the public could easily be left to wonder whether the financial exchange had continued. Of course it did. Now, they say that they broke up like around January, about the end of last year. But there is reason to believe that they were still romantically involved in doing things together, was just hiding it better, which again, I'm sure it will be looked into. Now let's get back to old Terrence Bradley here. First, the court finds itself unable to place any stock in the testimony of Terrence Bradley. His inconsistencies, demeanor, and generally non-responsive answers left far too brittle foundation upon which to build any conclusion. He writes, that was easy for him to do, because Terrence Bradley threw him a bone on that one. Because 1 minute you said something and you was dead set serious, without a shadow of a doubt believed when this relationship happened, when they met, where they went, where the money went, this, that, and the third. But yet, when you get on the stand, you can't recall anything. So it's like, if I can't trust you on the stand, how can I trust you any other time? So that's easy to say, hey, his testimony is untruthful. Now, the judge knows when Terrence told the truth. He knows exactly when he told the truth, which was when he only sent them text messages. And you got other lawyers, don't forget, you got forgot to do this Hispanic guy and another lady who are saying that who are willing to testify and say, yes, this relationship started back in 2019. Matter of fact, when Terrence Bradley was in my office, he was on the phone with somebody, and they were that's not about a relationship. That was about saying that people, he was on the phone with Fani Willis, and Fani Willis was like, man, hey, keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Snitches get stitches. Loose lips sink ships. Just don't say anything. She heard this, which means that Terrence Bradley knew something that everybody else didn't know, and that Fani Willis didn't want everybody to know, especially these folk coming after him. So that's out there. But like I said, it's easy for the judge to say, well, since he lied once, we don't know when he told the truth, so let's just leave that alone. It's a great cop-out. I really, real quick, this judge's rulings, I really don't agree with it. I don't, because you have to set a precedent, but you got the Georgia Senate committee. They're going to probably look deeper into this, and then they're going to make rule changes, which is what the guy said in that hearing with Trump's co-defendant's lawyer, Ashley Merchant. And he told her, hey, we're not here to prosecute Fani or Wade or anybody else. We're just here to see what you know, how you know, when you know, if it's factual, and what we need to do to change some rules if need be. It say he also called out Willis for her speech in Atlanta church, where she blasted the initial filing that referenced her affair and tore into defense lawyers. Donald Trump's lawyer, Stephen Sato, accursed her of playing the quote-unquote race card. The judge noted that Willis didn't mention any defendant by name, and her speech was far enough from jury selection to taint the jury pool, but it was still legally improper, which means it was teeter-tottering on illegal. Come on now, just keep it a buck. He wrote, providing this type of public comment creates dangerous waters for the district attorney to wade further into. The time may well have arrived for an order preventing the state from mentioning the case in any public forum to prevent prejudicial prejudicial pretrial publicity, but that is not the motion presently before the court, he wrote, even while denying defense motion for forensic misconduct. So he let it off the hook again, because anybody else who go out there and talk about a case in public, you can get in trouble for that. That's like contempt of court. You can be fined and/or in prison for doing that. You know how, like, if you ever served on a jury pool, and if you haven't, you need to make sure you go and sign up so you can have, your voter's registration card and be part of the jury selection. You may not get picked, but hey, you do your civic duty, because I'm tired of us talking about that the justice system is unfair and that we got a brother or a sister that go to trial and 99.9% of the jurors are white or not Black Americans, but yet you say, oh, the jury is always, rigged, and that's not fair. But then when your jury summons comes, you try to find every way in the world to get out of it. Not me. I go, when I was young, I probably tried to get out of it, but let me tell you this here. I was in the jury of a trial of some prominent people in Dallas back in the day. But it was a small case, and it was about dude got beat up. He was suing the landowner after he had left the club. So he wanted money because they didn't have proper security. Now it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Going to his car, got beat up by a bunch of black people. First thing you think, dang, them brothers gonna beat this white boy up. This ain't gonna look good for him. But so you sit there and you look at the testimony, listen to the testimony presented in the trial, and then you go back to the jury room and they get this whole stack of evidence. Me, myself, I like to dig deeper on stuff if you haven't realized yet with my videos. And I noticed this small little clip. It's like this police report where it said that this guy, Carl, was drunk after leaving the club. For some odd reason, he felt the nerve to call this brother, you know what the word he used, but he used that racially derogatory term, and the brother hauled off and gave him a 2-piece and a side with a biscuit. And so now his feelings are hurt. When I saw that, I said, oh no, this man ain't getting no money because he brought this on himself. And they was like, what? And I think I wasn't a foreman, but I don't think I was a foreman because I was young. But anyway, I said, nah, he called his man, this term or whatever. I said, that's why he got his butt beat. Everybody said, oh no, he ain't getting no money. And case was done. But anyway, that's what you get when you go down and, attempt to be on a jury. So like I'm saying, just do your civic duty. Stop copping out and blaming the system for stuff for things that you can't control. You may not get picked. Oh well, they give you a couple of dollars. If you go to Dallas, man, they give you like $100 to go down there and get kicked off. So that's worth it for me. And you get paid. No, I don't think I got paid to work. But anyway, let's see. For instance, let's see. Sato blasted ruling in his own statement Friday. Say, quote, while respecting the court's decision, we believe that like I said, who edits this, man? God, man. But this is from the UK, so who knows? Maybe it's an interpretation, but they still should have wrote this better. While respecting, I'm just going to read it word for word. Y'all decipher how you want to. While respecting the court's decision, we believe that it did not afford appropriate significance to the prosecutorial misconduct of Willis and Wade, including the financial benefits, testifying untruthfully about when their personal relationship began, as well as Willis's extrajudicial MLK church speech, where she played a race card and falsely accused the defendants and their counsel of racism. We will use all legal options available as we continue to fight to end this case, which should never have been brought in the first place, he wrote, suggesting an appeal could be in the works. Willis can stay. Now, here we go. Willis can stay on the Trump election interference case in Georgia, but only if she cuts ties with her prosecutor lover, Nathan Wade. McAfee dramatically ruled Friday. It said, so basically she had a choice. And a lot of people have said this. I thought about it when I first heard it, but then as I watched other stories, everybody said the same thing, that the judge did the King Solomon thing. and put the baby in between two women that said, y'all can split the baby. Because one of them wanted the baby. One of them claimed that was her child. The other one claimed that was her child. And King Solomon said, okay, here you go. Y'all split it in half. And y'all can each have a piece. Now, to us, that seems kind of throw it out. Like, who the heck want that? But when the woman said, no. She can have it. You know what I'm saying? She was, distraught, totally distraught on what she had to say. The woman said, okay, we'll cut it in half then. She was like, nah, you can have it. So basically, the judge, and King Solomon said, hey, you're the real mother. Give that baby to that child. You go off into purgatory and leave us alone. Whatever. So basically, that's what McAfee did. He said, look, here you go. You want to stay on the case? If both of y'all feel y'all need to stay on the case, so here we go. If you stay, he got to go. If he stay, you got to go. You and your whole team got to go, and he can stay. Which was an easy decision because there's no way in the world that woman was going to sit there and fall on the sword for that brother. They already said they broke up and she mad because he said the only thing a woman can do is fix him a sandwich. So this is just that last dig, like, you got to go. And, he eventually stepped down, which is what he should have did when all this stuff first came out. Not really sure what he was thinking, but even us common folk knew it was over for him. Fani Willis, we didn't know. Because, like I said, the judge works for her. So he's trying to save himself and his job and his career. So he had to do what was best for him. So, but yeah, Wade don't matter. He can go. He done made, almost $250,000. So he should be good. It say in his ruling, Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee slammed Willis for a tremendous lapse in judgment and acting in an unprofessional manner which he gave evidence in his court. Judge McAfee, I don't understand how he didn't get rid of it because everything he's saying is, yes, I saw this. Yes, I saw lying. Yes, I saw lapse in judgment. Yes, I saw unprofessionalism, but yet you can stay. If you get rid of your boyfriend. That don't make sense. Judge McAfee made the stunning comments as he considered whether Willis should be disqualified from the case she brought against Donald Trump and 18 co-defendants. I think the reason why he also kept on her because if she got kicked off, the whole trial is going to be delayed, going to be maybe dismissed. It may take a while for somebody else to pick it up. And by the time they do it, Donald Trump will be president, possibly, and he'll just wipe it all out or somehow have it wiped out, have his people wipe it out. Come on, that's politics. He went on, this finding is by no means an indication that the court condones this tremendous lapse in judgment or the unprofessional manner of the district attorney's testimony during the evidentiary hearing. He added, in order of mendacity, which I say is the order of lying, remains, but the court was not under any obligation, I already said that, to ferret out. Okay, now it's repeating itself. He said it gave itself a deadline this week. He said at issue, his decision was the affair between two prosecutors began, or when the affair began, and whether it posed an actual conflict of interest or the appearance of one. And it was an appearance of one because he said it himself. The judge and clashing attorneys explored those issues in a sensational hearing that featured angry testimony about Willis. Remember that? Remember backwards dress with the bow tie in the front. She was confronted by defense lawyers. The hearing also featured details about cruising and luxury travel. It said in his ruling, McAfee said the prosecution of this case cannot proceed until the state selects one of two options. The district attorney may choose to step aside along with the whole of her office. Alternatively, Wade can withdraw, allowing the district attorney, the defendants, and the public to move forward without his presence or remuneration, distracting from the potentially compromising the merits of this case. So he just basically told Wade he got to go. It's basically how that went. The judge stressed that no one ruling amount ever going to be based on politics, whatever. He then saw out whether Wade had an actual financial conflict. He said, Judge McAfee wrote, whenever a private attorney like Wade is paid by the billable hours, a motive exists to extend or prolong the assignment. This, however, is attention that the legal profession has long accepted. His ruling goes through the... See, that's the thing. You let something go on long enough, eventually it's going to have to come to head and eventually it's going to have to stop. You got to call it out, slow it down a little bit, wait till the waters die down and then start all back over again. He said, but he found Willis did not get a direct financial benefit from her decision to hire Wade. But it doesn't mean it wasn't indirect. So, like I said, she's getting paid. And said this in another video. She getting paid about $200,000 a year. It don't matter if she takes this case on, wins it, loses it, or a draw. She's gonna still make the same amount of money. On the other hand, her ex-boyfriend, who she put on this case, can continue to make money daily, hundreds, even thousands of dollars a day on his case, as long as it goes on. So, for instance, if let's say you are the supervisor of a job. Let's say you're a woman, you supervisor of a job, and then your boyfriend, he ain't working, he barely working, sitting around the house doing nothing. Let's say you pay, and y'all go out, you pay for everything. Y'all go on trips, you pay for everything. Y'all go to the movies, football, ball games, no matter what, axe throwing, you pay for everything. So then a job come up in your position, in your office, that you think he's perfect for. So you tell him, come on in, apply, and you'll get him on. You get him on. Now he got money to where he can chip in on y'all outings, on y'all trips to the movies and axe throwing and stuff like that. You didn't directly benefit from it, but you benefited from it indirectly because the money went to him and he used the money to do things for you that you don't have to do anymore. That's what this is. So it's like you can't prove that. It can't be proven that you gave him the job so it can alleviate your expenses. That way you can use your money for your bills. Because he's a man anyway, he should be paying for everything. But you can't say that's a direct reason why you did it. But everybody knows that if he didn't have a job, if you didn't give him a job, he still wouldn't be able to like I say, pitch in and chip in. So this is the case here. So it's indirectly benefit because the man made damn near $500,000, $750,000 in 2 years. You can't tell me she ain't benefit from that. But like I say, because woulda, coulda, shoulda, they could have been not dating and still, benefited from it. I mean, and then not dating, then she wouldn't have been benefited from it. I mean, he also essentially accepted her claim that she reimbursed Wade in cash for expenses during their travel. Quote, such a reimbursement practice may be unusual and the lack of any documentary cooperation is understandably concerning. Yet the testimony was still direct contradiction, was corroborated by other evidence, for example, her payment of airfare for two on the 2020 Miami trip, and was not so incredible to be inherently unbelievable. However, as the district attorney herself acknowledged, no ledger exists. Now it's funny. At first he says that she didn't benefit directly from Wade getting a job, but then he turns around and said that directly, although she had no evidence except her word, she directly repaid Wade back, as in the trip on airfare for two to go to Miami. We've all been, let's say, hold on, other than a best guesstimate, there is no way to be certain the expenses were split completely even, and the district attorney may well have received a net benefit of several $100s. We've all been in relationships, okay? And we ain't talking about, I'm not gonna talk about husband and wife, let's talk about just people dating, okay? So let's say you as a man take a woman out, right? Now women gonna always say, well, not all women, you'll hear women say, I'm independent, I can pay my own way, I bring my own money just in case, just in case, stuff like that, because just in case he tries something and think I owe him something. I got the money. Okay, if something go down to where he insinuates that you owe him something, and there you go, boom, you pull out the money and the date's over and you can walk out, drive off, catch a cab, catch an Uber or whatever, and go about your business. That's already a known, but it's not implied in the beginning. But anywho, let's say you dating a woman and you pay for some stuff. You pay for everything. It may ring up hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. And then she come back and say, y'all get into it. You want to break up. you want to take her to Judge Judy or something, Judge Mathis, Judge O'Brien, and say that she owes me for all these dinners and stuff we did, and judge look at you like you crazy, like, but the woman would be like, well, hey, he didn't do everything because we went here and I paid for this, and we went here, I paid for that. So it's just how relationships go. And anybody will sit there and tell you, yes, that's how relationships go. There is no, I owe you, you pay me back, unless it's, unless it's stated in the beginning. No time did she say in the beginning that they said that if he take her to the movies, then she got to take her to the movies next week. It's not like that. Not in no real relationship. Not a relationship that they most likely had. It kind of reminds me, and I knew I was probably going to go here. It kind of reminds me of child support. Okay, so man, woman, y'all have kids, you're not together. I've seen cases where a dude, homeboy, friend of mine, you say, man, my baby mama may put me on child support, but everything I buy my kid, I keep the receipt in a shoebox. Keep the receipt. I knew a couple people like that. One of them, then I think both of them gets ready to, get another woman, get married. So now the baby mama's upset. I recall one of them telling me that when they went to court, they brought every receipt that they ever had spent on that child. Now, I don't know if he went to court by himself or he went with a lawyer, because if he went with a lawyer, lawyers should have stopped him and burnt those receipts. But the judge said, this is a gift. Everything you bought your child was a gift. It was not child support. Did y'all have a written agreement stating that this would be part of child support? And they'd be like, no. Okay. Did you have an written agreement with the court saying that this money will be, everything you buy will be going towards child support? They're like, no. Well, then I'm sorry. We can't use this towards child support. You owe back child support to however many years. My homeboys, they were mad, upset, pissed off, whatever, but that's how the courts go. What I'm saying is, Nathan Wagan about all this stuff, and Fani Willis can come with the receipts. All she wants, say, well, look, I bought this, did this, and this, so it's kind of even. What the court should be able to say is, did you document this? Which they did ask. And they said, no, we don't have no documentation. It's just what we did. He said he bought this, I give him the money back. But as an officer of the court, she should have documented it. And she didn't, which lets you know, nah, it ain't what they say. But again, the judge is quick to say all those stuff is said, stated, and implied. And what do you call it? And spoken about. There's no proof either way. We know it's out there. We can see it's out there, but there's no hard evidence, no tangible evidence to prove either way. They say Trump and the other defendants are charged with racketeering. We ain't got to get in there. The ruling on whether Willis should be disqualified, high stake implications. They say a disqualification of Willis would throw off the schedule of Georgia case at a time when some of Trump's other trials are in peril. They say he dismisses 3 of the charges against Trump not too long ago. And then he said that 6 of the charges in the indictment must be quashed. They said the 6 charges in question have to do with alleged soliciting elected officials to violate their oaths of office. So that's out of there. So this is a long article, and I'm not going to read anymore. Like I said, you know me, I'm gonna put the link in the description box so y'all can click on it and read it. There's a lot to it. This is a great, hey, this is great drama. You can't beat it. But anyway, hey, like I say, Fani get to live another day. Hooray. Hopefully she learned from this and she humbles herself, and at least until the Trump trial is over, keep a low profile and let the and let the case go ahead and run its course. Heck, she got a campaign to get ready for now because you got people trying to take her job. So She don't need this on her plate right now. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. You still a Fani apologist, or you still, you still rocking with Fani. Leave your comments below and share it with the world. Let's dialogue. You know how we do around here. I let it go back and forth with my peoples with, intelligent conversations. So I can learn something, you can learn something. I can teach something, you can teach something. Hey, you're learning something every day. And also, don't forget, there's 4 ways to support the channel free of charge. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things you can do. It'll take but a couple minutes out your day. Helps boost the video and the algorithm. It helps boost the channel and the algorithm. And when you see them commercials, let them sun guns play. But if you want to give a monetary donation, you can give super chat, super thanks, or clicking the links in the description box below. And you can, you can help support the channel that way. But with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.